It starts off with us getting calls, congratulates us, then yes, I did. Instead, to it needs to be our best as allowing that to happen because of power outage. This, of course, happened to me on my very attempt, leading to this variant and aside from that minor slip up, this night is once again productive, with us just needing to watch over the cameras and close the door to the right and the animatronic. And one thing I want to say during this night is that I love all the camera renders. Not only are the poses on the camera super dynamic, making pretty the times that much more eerie, but the renders when shining the light through the door also look great. And each animatronic is given different which makes them feel much more alive. Not only that, but I was also surprised to discover that each animatronic has different jump scares, adding variety to every death experience. I don't think I've ever played a FNAF game where the animatronics had jump scares, so I just had to. These jump scares are also top notch to how they're animated. They're not only extremely fast, talking, but also and seeing things like Bonnie sprinting as fast as it does makes these animatronics feel so much more threat. I also really like that Freddy Skinner's characteristic of staying in the dark. It keeps him feeling different from the other animatronics in the past, and it's also just really cool. You can catch him attempting to sneak his way. Reaching 6 a.m. and finishing our shift, we are now back to our server, where this time we are tasked with broke her own job. Not only that, we also need to replace and this section is pretty much the same as previous. We just need to our house in Chica, while every so often checking behind them. One thing I didn't mention in the previous parts of the server section though was just how good this shocking animation looks. It's the stuff that's on. They could have easily just had the screen go black, but to actually show it, they really did. Anyway, after getting Chica and your cupcakes all fixed up for the next show, the section is completed. Now move on to the next mini. This one has us playing as Bonnie, who needs to go around the pizzeria cleaning up 9 different areas of trash. While doing this, we also need to avoid a rogue endoskeleton, which is around the building, which raises the question, which suit is this endo? One funny thing in this mini game is that while sweeping up the trash in your box, you can actually see the things Paulie does, which I thought was just a this cuteness towards the as we
Telling.
corrupted item us back to having us walk around in the darkness before discovering the room, which unlocks a room with yet another black child. Exploring around a little bit more, we once again find a plush. This one belongs to Bonnie that we can give to the child. Once again, we then get to see some drawing. This time showing us the perspective of the kid who goes as Bonnie. He's shown to be getting picked on before then being lured to the backstage by Spring Bonnie. But first he thinks of a friend. However, upon entering the backstage, as they begin to out, before he then suddenly wakes up, possessing yet again a effect. It's now time for our third shift job, and this is where things begin to pick up.
I'm at the place.
Good. He thinks you're a security guard?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, something's not right about that place. Gather all the information you can.
Keep the fastest way they know. Attempting to get in, window, makes the fox big way rather slow. However, it is much faster and needs to be engaged. As soon as either one of them gets to our window, we need to judge until we hear them. Meaning they take our attention away from all the things. Yeah. Luckily, both Foxy and Anne are extremely fast, meaning we don't need to rely on the cameras to know them. As you can hear them stomping down the hallway as they're moving. However, keeping tabs on them, especially during the nights, is beneficial. As you can see the exact movement they sprint on. This night is a little bit hectic and there's night. So far, it's still pretty manageable, which allowed me to get through without trouble. I did die once though, and let me say, Anne's jump scare jumping though, is absolutely horrifying.
Deja de scrollear ya. No estás lista para esta decisión de cariño. Esta idea va a convertir en tu nueva tradición para la es acogedora, hermosa y absolutamente deliciosa. Hay algo más con esta temporada de libro. Este año quise crear un momento que se sintiera como con las galletas María a la mesa, un toquecito de leche condensada, la lechera, armé una estación perfecta, dulce, cálida y hecha para comer. Todos
After completing night 3, we are back to march service, this time to fix Freddy, whose speaker needs to be replaced. While the gameplay is identical to the other parts of service nights, this one is interesting because this is the first time we get to outside of the animatronic look, with Freddy's entire suit being removed from the sides of his head. While operating on Freddy, also in here with constant traps here with Freddy trying to stay creepy, especially with sitting right. After getting Freddy fixed up, then move to the third mini section. In this one, take control of Chica and gather 5 ingredients in order to make it stand. Just like the other nights, we need to move around the various rooms, collecting different ingredients. However, this time while exploring, I discovered something strange. That being what looked to be spring money as it weird. After collecting the ingredients, the game begins without corrupting the kitchen. We can then enter it again, taking us to the corrupted version of the game. This time, we are surrounded by eyes that are strangely glaring at us. We are able to go around and see which gets rid of them, and after getting rid of every single one, then collect the cheap flush and return it to the next child. Then, just like the previous mini games, be the last moments of the child's who, similar to Bonnie, suffered a fate at the hands of the dreamer. After being away, there's a phrase I remember. It appears at the end of the cutscene. It's now time for night, and as the main menu tells us right away, this night you're dealing with loading in, just like all other nights. Homegirl introduces us to puppets, telling us that they act very differently from the animatronics. We learned that if our camera gets out to start every camera and find them puppet, and from here we are able to scare them off. If the puppet decides to do this, not one of our stable cameras, but also costing us one of our precious. That's not where the puppet's mechanics end, as they can also attack us directly in the kitchen, which is towards the top right area of the map. There's a vent in the back of the room. If we hear any ventilation noises at any time during the night, we need to quickly go to that camera and play the radio as they enter the vent. As failing to do this, surveys control directly are off, killing us. The puppet is by far the most stressful camera to deal with. Not only do they seem to transfer search through the cameras from the time, but they also only give you a few seconds to react. Luckily, because the icon for the radio appears on the camera, put it on, use that to our advantage to find them quicker. However, they are still definitely the most dangerous animatronics so far. This night definitely makes your attention being stretched between the 3 main animatronics, 2 different spots, and now you're for sure bound to die at least 8 times during the night. Just like the parts in service night though, I'm scared by the puppet, we once again get a death cuts, and this one is a after the victim. Having finished night 4, we are now to the final section. This one, as it's fixing up boxes, is night 3's. This section takes more
Excuse me.
I kind of wish this here to my section, whether that be an extra act, a script section, and I just think that was the game, but regardless, section, and they help a lot to diversify the